Hey guys, it's Robbie and welcome back to Skinny Pop Legends. And today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite artists, IS CHARLI XCX. Really quickly though, I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel, and also check out my social media accounts. But with that said, let's get into today's video. Charlotte Emma Aitchison was born on the 2nd of August 1992 in Cambridge in the United Kingdom. Charlie was raised in Essex by her parents John and Shamira. She was an only child and had a love for music from a very young age, with the Spice Girls and Britney Spears being some of her favourite artists as a kid. Charlie has said Britney's Baby One More Time video was a huge inspiration for her wanting to become a pop star. She wanted to be just like Britney. Charlie started writing her own songs when she got a bit older. One of her earliest songs is called Fish and Chip Shop, and she also has some other unique titles such as Dinosaur Sex. When she was 14, her parents loaned her the money to record her first album. The album was titled 14 and released solely on MySpace under the stage name CHARLI XCX, which she had taken from her MSN Messenger name, standing for Charlie Kiss Charlie Kiss. This album caught the attention of organisers for illegal warehouse raves and parties in East London. Charlie was invited to perform, but as she was so young, her parents decided to come with her and would watch Charlie in the audience at shows that would go on until the early hours of the morning. Also during this time, she officially released her first two singles, Francesca and Emmeline, under the label Orgy Music. These songs caught the attention of major UK publishers such as The Guardian, who deemed her as the computer pop Kate Nash. At the age of 18, Charlie received a place at London's UCL for a degree in fine art. Charlie has spoken about her time as an art student and said she didn't find it particularly enjoyable, and so she dropped out in the second year in order to focus on music. Around the same time, she was signed to a record deal with US label Asylum Records, owned by Warner Music Group. When signing this deal, Charlie had a huge identity crisis. She wasn't sure what direction she wanted her music to go in at all. She no longer wanted to be a pop star and make pop music. The road to her first single release with her new label therefore took a while, and in the meantime she released two online mixtapes titled Heartbreaks and Earthquakes and Super Ultra. These mixtapes helped Charlie find the sound for her debut album, as a lot of the songs on the track list were later featured on her official debut. Charlie's first single to be released through her label was a track titled Stay Away. The 2011 song was a huge moment for Charlie, as it was the first song she was really proud of, and helped her to shape the sound of the rest of the album. Charlie's debut album, True Romance, was originally set for release in 2012, however the record faced a handful of delays, possibly due to the singles not performing very well on the charts. Charlie was grabbing the attention of the critics, but the GP weren't interested in her music just yet. However, in 2012, Charlie was sent two beats by a producer named Patrick Berger. One of the songs would become a track titled You're the One, later featured on Charlie's debut album, whilst the other would become Icona Pop's hit single titled I Love It. When finishing the demo for the track, Charlie knew the song wasn't right for her own album and didn't want to use it. So the producer then pitched it to Icona Pop, who would release the song in Sweden in May of 2012. It took a while until the song would start hitting other markets, being released in the UK in June of 2013, however it dominated the charts all throughout 2013, peaking at number 1 in the UK and number 7 in the US. The pop duo decided to keep some of Charlie's vocals on the track, therefore giving Charlie a featured artist credit. The song was a huge kickstart for Charlie's career and gave her label the confidence to finally release her debut album, True Romance, in April of 2013. Sadly, the album didn't live up to the same commercial standards I Love It had experienced, reaching a peak of only number 85 in the UK and selling just over 1,000 copies in its first week. This then led to a shift in Charlie's career. She was being approached by pop hitmakers such as Dr. Luke wanting to work with her, and her next release, a single titled Super Love, would become the most pop sounding track she had released in her career. The track wasn't a huge success, but it did become her first solo entry on the UK charts, reaching a peak of number 62. In 2014, Charli's pop career continued to flourish. She wrote and featured on Iggy Azalea's hit single Fancy, and also wrote a song for Hilary Duff titled Boom Clap. The song was rejected by Hilary's team, and Charli ended up releasing it herself for the Fault in Our Stars soundtrack. The song became Charli's first solo smash, and this formed the direction for her second studio album, Sucker, released in December of 2014. Charli has stated she was forced to put pop-sounding tracks, such as Break the Rules, on the album. The album was not entirely what she had wanted it to be, but it was her most successful body of work to date. 2014 saw Charli perform at Billboard's Music Awards, the VMAs and the AMAs, whilst also receiving Grammy nominations. She had become a pop star and was writing songs for other hitmakers such as Britney Spears, Rihanna and Selena Gomez. Charli then headlined her biggest tour to date following the release of Sucker, and also opened for artists such as Katy Perry. But this commercial success came to an end. Throughout 2016 and 2017, Charli was in a constant battle with her label. Whilst they were trying to keep her in mainstream music, Charli wanted to explore other avenues, and started working with underground producers such as A.G. Cook and Sophie to craft the sound of 2016's Vroom Vroom EP and 2017's mixtapes, Number 1 Angel and Pop 2. These projects weren't met with much commercial success to start with, and were also received negatively by some critics. But this wouldn't last. Pop 2 has become Charli's most critically acclaimed body of work ever, and one of the songs from the project is currently viral on TikTok. Charli making this shift in the sound of her music made her one of the creators of a new genre of music known as hyperpop, which Vice has deemed her as the queen of this genre. Charli has also gone on to write even more hit songs for other artists such as Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello and Anne-Marie, and is currently working on new music with Rita Ora, Ava Max and Addison Rae. She is at the peak of her career and got to this point because she went with her gut instinct and refused to be an industry plant. But what do you think about Charli's story and rise to fame? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and before I go, I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.